Thank you. I'm going to tell you about a day when the heavens really rebelled against me. I was a teacher. I was teaching a microbiology course for sixth graders at a middle school. And I thought this was all going to go pretty well this day, but it didn't. In fact, it was a red letter day for me, one which actually exacerbated my neurosis, and it was the subject of many nightmares thereafter. Let's forward to the event itself. It was a day, and it was a beautiful day. I was teaching a group of students who were using microscopes to study paramecium and amoeba. They were checking the mobility of these creatures, and they were doing drawings. I said, this is great. They were peaceful. They were an excellent group of students. I thought, what a wonderful day. It was early June, 15 days left before I left for the summer. They were behaving themselves. I was 5 years from retirement. Things were going beautifully, and I thought, wow, what a great career that I have selected. And then a student came forward. This was a Dutch exchange student. His name was Anthony Tervema. I remember him well. And he came forward. He had learned English during the year in our classes. And he said, Mr. McCormack, it is not moving. And I said, well, I can get you a new, paramecium or amoeba. No, it is not moving. And he pointed to the window. And I said, well, what do you mean? I said, look, he said, come over to the window and look. And I looked down, and outside he said, the grass chopper, using his Dutch expressions. He said, the guy sitting on the grasshopper, he is not moving. And I said, well, I looked down, and it was Pinky, our custodian, who was out chopping the grass, or mowing it. And I said, well, he's got a sombrero on, he's leaning forward. I said, I think he's okay. He's probably either adjusting a choke, or he's taking a little siesta with that sombrero on. So I said, listen, Anthony, go back to your desk, get to work, and we'll be fine. 10 minutes later, another good student, comes up, and she says, Mr. McCormack, he is still not moving. So I go over and look again. No, he's in the same position. I'm thinking to myself, the class is beginning to look in consternation. What's going on here? I said, look, don't worry. I'm going to call down to the office. I'll get a custodian to come up and check on him. They'll go out and see if he's okay. Okay? So that sounded fine. I kind of forgot about it. It was about 11 o'clock. I had an IEP conference. This is an individual prescription conference with a mother and father who were having a child mainstreamed into my class because the child was a little learning disabled. So I went and I did the meeting, and then I left and I thought, well, okay, 12 o'clock, go down to the office, I'm going to check my mailbox, and then I'm going to go to lunch. I walked down to the office, and there were all kinds of people running in and out. Some of them were paramedics. And I'm looking out in front. There was an ambulance. There was a paramedic truck and a police car. And I'm thinking, well, something's going on here. So I walk into the office, and the secretary, whose name was Janice, she said, John, we think Pinky hasn't done well. He's on life support, and the paramedics are probably going to take him to the hospital. And a paramedic went by, and I thought, well, that sounds okay. Well, John, she said, I've got to tell the sixth grade class that they can't pass by the office because they'll see all these people, and they're going to be bringing Pinky in a stretcher into the ambulance, and we don't want the kids to see that. So I said, oh, I understand that. She said, but John, there's something else. Pinky's mother, or I'm not sure, it might be his mother or his wife is on the phone. And I'm not good about this. I can't talk to people like that. Well, he asked the principal, I said. He's at a meeting. Well, where's the guidance counselor? She's at a meeting with him. Children, would you talk to her? I said, I don't even know his wife, or his mother, whichever it is. So I went on the phone, and I said, hi, how are you? And she said immediately, how's he doing? And I said, well, I think they have him on life support. She said, oh my God, he's on life support? He only had a tummy ache this morning. I said, well, I think he's probably going to be all right. They're going to take him to Paoli Hospital. And she said, well, this sounds terrible. And at that point, there was another secretary. Janice had already gone off and was taking the sixth graders another route to get to the cafeteria. And I continued to talk to the mother, and the other secretary said, John, the paramedic just came in and said he died. So I'm thinking, I've got to tell this to the mother? And so I said, I don't think, she said, how's he doing? Shall I call my husband? I said, they're taking him to Paoli Hospital. And I guess he'll be okay. But I think maybe you got to call your husband and you better get over there with him because this looks like a very serious situation. And he was a very good friend of mine, you know. So the other secretary tells me he has died. And I started talking to her for a while. And I used the past tense. I said, he was a very good friend of mine. I thought, oh my God, what did I just say? So then she was really upset. So in the meantime, I said, we really love Pinky here. And she said, Pinky? Well, we never called him Pinky. Well, I said, what did you call him? Well, his name's Brad. You had him in some of your classes. I had Brad in some of my classes? Yeah, Mr. McCormack, you know who he was. And I thought, oh my God, what are we talking about here? Because something as strange is happening. So the other secretary says, is that Brad Fitzgerald's mother? He was sick with a tummy ache this morning, and we sent him back to class because we think he was faking it. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And I said, is it Brad Fitzgerald's mother I'm talking to? Yes, Mr. McCormack. Is he going to the hospital? I said, wait a minute. He's not going to the hospital. He's probably at lunch right now. She said, could I talk to him after talking to you? I'm a little worried about what's going to happen to this kid. I will go over and get him, and I will bring him right to you. So I go over, I see Brad. He's an antsy type of kid. He gets up, and he comes with me. I'm going to hurry this up. He comes over, and he says to me, hi, Mr. Mark. Did my mom talk to you? Yeah, she did, and I was really sick this morning. Okay, that's fine. You just come with me, because your mom just wants to see how you're all right. So he's waltzing out, coming with me, and he's jumping up, touching. I said, will you just take your time and go slowly? Because I wanted you to get to your mother safely and tell her you're all right. So he comes, and they have their conversation. And I'm going to fast forward to the next day. The next day, I'm standing in the same class again, and everything seemed to be okay, although I had a miserable night's sleep, and I had nightmares about this thing for time to come. And Anthony comes toward me again. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is Groundhog Day. And he's pointing out the window. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? He says, hey, Mr. McCormack, he's out on the grass chopper again. And I said, who? He said, the guy who replaced Pinky from yesterday. So Pinky was okay. There was no Pinky. There was a new guy who was replacing him, and everything went well. So my friends after that, my colleague friends called me Digger Odell, the Friendly Undertaker. That was the nickname that I got. By the way, this summer, or actually this fall, I'm going to Amsterdam and I'm going to be seeing him. So I'm going to visit Anthony, my student who told me all this story. So thanks a lot.